Stop trying to nuzzle the damn tripod. Stop! I'm gonna start this series of reviews off with an idle game, a genre of which I've never really touched before. If you don't know what an idle game is, it's basically a game where you have little characters or whatever, and they will perform repetitive tasks over and over again and gather resources that you then spend on skins or upgrades that then accelerate the process of obtaining said resource. And the game that I'm speaking of course, is Mortal Kombat 11. Has really solid gameplay, and you can have your AI fight in matches over and over again to collect coins, souls, and hearts to then spend in the crypt to get new skins and other... Wait. Not Mortal Kombat... Oh, the mobile game! Idle Apocalypse. A game where you play as Sid Ermin, the leader of a cult hell-bent on bringing the apocalypse and destruction and hellfire upon those who bullied him in school and his mother that didn't understand him. So the main gameplay loop is gather resource, spend resource upgrading your tower, your ridiculously tall tower, that then creates more resources or monsters that then go fight against the heroes that lay in wait outside. The heroes outside locked in an endless battle, the futility of which is a constant and harrowing reminder of how, no matter how much you fight, the world will always send more hardship at you. And no one outside will lift a finger to help you. You're just stuck in a purgatory of clashing steel and rended flesh, the only reward of which is the ability to continue your fruitless battle yet another day. They also say funny things to each other from time to time, so that's pretty nice. I think the real draw of this game is the charm. There's a lot. It seeps through it like a fine honey. You see it between the interactions between the heroes talking outside amongst each other, or Sid Ermin interacting with his many cultists in different rooms. And oftentimes the interactions are specific to whatever is being produced in the particular room at the particular time, causing a good variety of interactions to be read. Okay, so let's break it down. You're going to be building up your tower, upgrading your idols and monsters and rooms and all that good stuff until you hit a wall. A wall that you cannot pass until you initiate the apocalypse. And you may be wondering, wait, I do stuff after the apocalypse? How does that work? Yes! The apocalypse is not the end. No, it's only the beginning. When you initiate the apocalypse, you're taken to another screen. A screen from which you proceed to tap the living crap out of it in order to do as much damage as possible. And then that damage is tallied and you are given a new resource called souls. These souls can then be spent on chants, which are significant bonuses that only last until the next apocalypse. You can also buy these things called relics, and relics are just spells that you could cast on the heroes that lie in wait outside. So things like a scepter that you throw in the ground and it turns your monster into a stronger version that has double damage and drops 2.5 times the resource it would normally drop. Or even supplemental rooms that survive the apocalypse that you just permanently have. Or even skins. Certain skins you could get with souls that provide actual bonuses that you can benefit from without even having to equip the skin to begin with. Okay, every once in a while you're gonna see an event show up. And on top of events like Halloween or Christmas, there are smaller events that come in more regular intervals, such as Sid in Space or the Happy Time event, the Aqua Adventure, I think is what it was called. The basic premise of which is you're trying to gather as much of a resource as possible within the 3-day time limit. You're gonna be in the main hallway, you're gonna see an additional little thing added to the UI, you click on that, and then you're gonna see these bars that are filling up, and you gather a resource, and then you could then spend that resource to get other resources and upgrade and all that good stuff, just like the tower, but just from one menu. And that's kind of where my first gripe is. You don't really feel that event going on, it's just a supplementary menu. And I wish it had a little bit more agency over the overall aesthetic. And that wouldn't bother me too much if it weren't for gripe the second. It seems to me like you can't get the last tier, the legendary skin, without spending money. Or maybe micromanaging the hell out of it, but I purely focused on trying to complete 2 events in a row and I couldn't. I got to about the third to last tier, keeping an eye on it and all that stuff, and I couldn't do it. I tried. I made a huge attempt to do it and I couldn't. One thing that kind of would soften this blow a little bit for me, and I'm not sure if this is the case, but if the event rolls by again and I keep my progress, I would be fine with this. If not, then that's a huge glaring issue. And there is a way to increase the production rate through one of their monetization means. But I will get into monetization later. Monetization! Idle Apocalypse handles monetization much like many other mobile games, if not pretty much all of them. Expect to see ads and expect to see a premium currency called gems. Why is it always gems? I don't know. It always is gems. Why is it always gems? Okay, let's start off with ads. I am actually running the game right now, so I can actually one-on-one show you the stuff as I'm talking about it. Isn't the future crazy? Okay, first off, you have this screen. I am on this screen. And I need to do a sound sync. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna tap on the eye. Now, you can see over here, this button to the side, the left side, is the ad button. If you notice, 3 buffs that increase resources. Creatures drop 1 additional resource, creatures do 100% damage, and creatures drop 100% dark energy. You tap it, see an ad. You get 1 buff, you have 2 hours. Tap it again, see another ad, get another buff, tap it again, get a 3rd buff, and you saw another ad. Simple, right? But here's the thing. Maybe you're like, oh damn, I don't want to see 3 ads every time I open up the game. No, you just gotta see 1 more ad, and it'll rebuff you. It'll refill the buff. The buff. I've said buff too many times. It stopped meaning anything. Next, if you notice on the right side of the screen, there is a little counter with a little picture of a Zeppelin. Shows up every 5 minutes, and it drops off a little box to the section right here. You could drop either 10 gems, a time skip for, I think it's like 15 minutes. It's not a lot. Or he can drop wheel tokens, which luckily I have one right now. So wheel tokens, as you can guess, bring up a little wheel, and the wheel's up right now. And you could spin that wheel and you could get a bunch of things, including electricity, things that drop off the heroes every once in a while. Or you can get more wheel tokens. Or you can get up to 200 gems. Next we have here is the purchase section. Let's actually just look through the actual store. You have what you would expect. Gem packages. The ones that range from $5 to $100, just like every other game. I wouldn't suggest actually just buying gems. If you notice, they also have this section where you can buy permanent boosts. And I don't know you, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm not your mama, but you know, I wouldn't recommend buying it. But if you want to, do it. I don't care. The one thing I definitely would, I don't know if it's here, but there was a one-time purchase for, I think it was, it was just to see no more ads, and you get, I think it was like 300 gems or something like that. It's not much, but one $10 purchase, you never see ads again, you get all the bonuses. You saw how it works. And if you notice here, there's our time warps, and you get those with gems. I will say that I do not suggest that you buy these until at least, if you notice, start the apocalypse, and there's this little button down here, and you double the souls with 250 gems. I suggest you wait until you have 250 gems, buy this, and then any gems you then get, you can pour into whatever you want. Also, one thing I would suggest is if you play this game, do not spend electricity on anything. I see it over here. I have this button for these generators. Normally, this is how you do it. You gotta tap the living crap out of it, and look at how much it takes to get a generator full. I'm tapping with 4 fingers, by the way. It's way faster. This is 1 finger. It's terrible. So, what I suggest that you do instead is to just do this. Do 4 finger, do whatever, alternate fingers. You get that exercise. It's good for you, you know. You gotta get that exercise in there. You gotta get that heart rate up. But if you notice, there's also an option here to spend electricity to fully charge, and it fully charges all of them. But I would suggest not using that because a lot of upgrades that you need actually are like only obtainable with electricity. So I suggest not using electricity and just tap it. Just tap it. Tap it. Tap it. Tap it. It's hard. Side note, I am so used to, I'm looking at the screen and I'm realizing that I'm not looking directly in the camera lens. I should be, but I'm not. But I'm just tapping some screens right now, so it doesn't really matter too much. But I do need to get in the habit. This gets really tiring at some point. I'm almost done. I'm a little bit tired already. It's hot in here. I have to turn off my fan to record. It's not a fun time. One more. Just kidding, that's not it. I did all the generators, but there's also a cannon. Hold on, here it comes. The cannon needs less. Either way. This is what happens when I play this game. I get distracted and I talk forever. But yeah. That's the whole rundown. That's the game in a nutshell. Decide whether or not you want it. There is another shop that opens up that I'm still kind of exploring because it kind of feels a little iffy to me, but I feel like I'm kind of behind where I'm supposed to be, so I'm probably not seeing it from the perspective that they expected me to see it. I think I got there earlier than I was supposed to because I rushed through some of the stuff and I initiated one too many apocalypses or something and I activated the event early. I'm not really sure, but maybe I'll do an update, maybe not. But honestly, I feel kind of good about my $10 purchase. I don't expect that I'm going to spend any more because I feel pretty contented. I just like it. It's a fun game. It has a nice art style. The writing is really funny, you know, all that good stuff. I like it. It's a good game. You decide if you want to play it. I don't care. Do whatever you want. You know, it's your life. It's your world. It's your choices, your body, your mind, your eyes, your head, whatever. Just fucking do whatever you want. Who cares?
Monetization!
I hope that scares someone.